what it's been like?
Basically, it's been promising.
Okay.
So we actually shifted from the cultural belief where women had to stay at home and take care of, and watch men work hard and make money. But now you see women going out to work, making that money. We're meeting opportunities. We realize now that we have the brains and to work hard as our male counterparts. So we're out there making the money. It's exciting, even if it's challenging a little bit,
Yes, it
with the
is.
whole infrastructural, lights, traffic, and everything. But I try to bypass all that by waking up early to meet my workers and my clients.
Mm.
And also, I have a driver that takes me around because of the whole Lagos traffic.
Real estate people, write that down. Write that down.
So, anyways, it's been exciting,
Yeah.
and yeah. Male counterparts. Do you understand? They want to push you, especially if they see that you're very serious about your work. That's so we actually coexist in real estate because you see men that want to push you to your greatest level when they know that you're serious about your work. So that's
Yeah,
like
that's I like. So you talked about the men who are condescending and want to
yeah,
lecture you and take advantage,
exactly.
and then two, the men who want to push you and encourage you. So that's
Yeah.
good. Very, yeah, nice balance there, right?
I don't
Okay.
think that's really a balance though.
Also, so the thing is, if I think I like that. Well, balance in the sense that there's I guess the
Okay.
bad guys and the good
Right,
guys.
right.
So yeah, which is encouraging.
Yeah.
So what about the market itself? As far as the real estate market in Lagos, how would you You know.
It's first of all for investors, right?
Yeah.
Is a wealth creator for investors
Okay.
in terms of your return of investments
Okay.
and everything.
Mm.
And also, although it's capital intensive for developers that erect
Yep.
buildings,
Yep.
it's actually very profitable for them. And then for realtors like us, it's actually a very competitive market.
Yeah.
But that's what makes us want to stand on our toes, you know.
Mm.
And then for home buyers, it's very promising because there are lots of lands, there are lots of houses, there are affordable properties, luxury, and everything. So it's,
Okay.
that's basically it.
Well, that's promising.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
guys, don't forget if you want to be a part of our conversation, don't forget the conversation centers around women today. And you can reach out to us on WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. That's where you can send your messages to. We say message from Ogate, we'll get to that later.
I bet Ogate is.
Uh-huh.
I, so it's Ogate being Ogate, right?
Yes.
Ogate's one of our favorites.
We'll
Yeah.
get to that later.
Okay.
Yeah. I
I
guess.
wanted
Go
to
ahead,
add
please.
something to the challenges women because this is serious.
It is.
right?
It is. It is. It is. It is. It is.
So another thing about working for women in high power jobs where it's male dominated is societal norms and where a woman is supposed to be in the kitchen, you're not supposed how you so and then the question is how are you supposed to balance your work and family? Like I can't. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So yeah, how you supposed to balance your family, how you supposed to and then sometimes when you're in these high powered jobs, people actually think you would intimidate men. Do you understand? So
Right.
these are just the problems, and there are not enough role models for us for women because okay, they are the Okonjo Iwealas, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and the Obiekwes. But do they really promote these people like very well? The way they promote other very trivial matters. Like I heard on social media someone say, "Oh, would you date? Would you go out on the date if the man doesn't give you money?" Those are triv.
Yeah.
Right. They're
This
not the
isn't
things.
something that you should be. Do you understand? You should be
Absolutely.
promoting like women so that other younger generations would emulate this kind of
Right.
women. So it's like, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Well said, well said, well said. What about on business? So we like to ask this a lot of entrepreneurs who come on air. Advice for people who want to get into your
Line.
particular industry. So if anyone says, "Hey, Jennifer, I want to get into real estate," what kind of tips would you give them in order to do well in the sector?
I would say read extensively.
Amen.
Knowledge is power. Like it's not even just about real estate. Every other, you know, do your research. You have to learn from the experts in the industry. That's what I did when I started. I mean, apart from the whole professional training I had to look at people, gurus in the industry to learn how they do things, and then I imbibed it into my own. So it's very important. Your network has to be really strong if you're about to come into the real estate game.
How many times have I said that, Kylie? How
I
many
mean,
times
it
have I
is-
talked
it's
about the
important.
network
Yeah,
on the show?
Net worth.
How many
So,
times?
It's your net worth, obviously. So, I mean, and real
Sorry.
estate is not just for.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, so you have to have a high net worth.
Exactly.
With net worth in you to get into it.
Yeah, so you have to also listen to clients. It's very important that when clients say they want this, you don't go and do the other thing thinking that that's what they want. They won't take you seriously. You have to do what they want. You have to learn sales pitch because if you're in real estate, you're obviously a salesperson, right? So learn your sales pitch, go for events where there are other professional, social media, use it to your advantage. Study the market. It is very, very important. Then you have to learn how to evaluate a property, keep abreast of like all the latest news in the industry. And yeah, you're basically good to go.
Good stuff. I want to go back to challenges though. Are there any other? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. We have to.
Yeah,
we have
it's
to-
fine,
we have
it's
to
fine, I'm
highlight the
good.
good and bad. The challenges in the sector that's I guess not just women now. I'm just talking
Yes,
about the sector in general.
generally.
Yeah, exactly. What are we facing?
I would say like lack of adequate funding for the younger generation of home buyers.
Right.
There is no extended period of time to pay off a property in Nigeria. So that's something we should look into, government, whatever should look into.
Mm.
And loans, make loans easier and more accessible for the younger buyers,
Okay.
And then another problem that we're facing in real estate is this cost of materials, building materials is really, really high because of the whole exchange rates and everything. So when the cost of building materials is high, it affects the profits, which affects the cost of properties, and makes it difficult for the average Nigerians to, yeah. So that's basically.
You mentioned, are we going to a break soon, or are we still good?
We have a break in 1 minute.
Okay, so Jennifer, I don't know if you can answer this in 1 minute, but social media, I think you touched on it earlier, but how important is that for entrepreneurs?
Very, very important.
Yeah?
Very, very important.
Yeah?
Like social media, it could help you market to millions of people. It's unbelievable. Like you could market yourself, market your product. The exposure is really great. It helps you build relationship with your peers in the business. You can share your expertise online, like what I do on my social media. I try to give tips on buying houses, what to do before you buy houses, after, and everything. It helps you to educate yourself too, and
Depending on who you're following, right?
yes,
Uh-huh,
exactly. You have to follow,
right.
like,
Don't follow,
yeah.
let me not mention some names. You got to follow proper people.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
okay. All right, cool. So I guess we'll take a break, guys?
Yes, yes. Let's
Okay,
take a quick break. And this is the
Business Hub.
Thank you.
Right here on Smooth 98.1.
All right. We're taking a break, bro. We're coming back. So, Mr. Good stuff. I want to see if I should have enough time to go through this Biden thing. So it's basically,
Okay.
hey man, well, basically go through. The U.S. is going to place an import ban on Russian oil and gas. Oil actually is going to
Oil
climb.
and gas. So that means
That's
prices will go up.
imports of Russian oil
Yeah.
into the United States. They are good. You will record that. So once
No,
we're
no,
done, we're done. Then then I'm just gonna, because that one is dry stuff. Nobody wants to read about that or watch it. But so the impact is oil prices probably are going to climb.
Is that a good thing for us?
Of course, it's a bad thing. It's bad.
Because yesterday we talked about oil being at $200 a barrel.
Well, that's if it gets there. Right now, I think it's climbed to 130.
So how is it bad for us?
It's bad because it makes the NNPC is not able to.
Refine our own oil.
That's one, but they're not able to make any payments to the federation accounts. The federation accounts is where they distribute, so
I
they
know,
sell
but,
ahead.
yeah.
So it's more expensive because subsidy costs are rising. As oil goes up, the NNPC has to chest the cost
Oh,
of
wow.
subsidies. So our
So it
subsidies.
goes at 4 trillion or 5 trillion.
Yeah,
It's more money.
if it's 132 now, oil has climbed to 132. So it's just better. What I think the only so the only couple questions I have for you after this is designing your flyers and then how you see real estate market in 2022. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, we have about 10 minutes to wrap up this side, or less than that. When I need a friend to see my passions, heal it, heal it, heal it, heal it real and deeply.
Creating wealth for retirement. Crusader Sterling Pensions.
So who's going to be distributing gas to the world now?
PLC.
There's still other gas producers, right? So the thing is, it's about finding other alternatives.
This is a good time for that.
You know, yeah. So that's the issue, but it's a big thing. But yeah, it's one of those things, man. Geopolitical matters.
Yeah, that's the kind of connection we're talking about. And to be that connected, we need a
It's one
reliable
of those
partner.
issues.
It doesn't work. You have to charge the power bank. That's why I brought it. I brought it to charge it.
Oh, the phone died.
Yes. I brought the power bank to charge it. now.
What about this phone?
No, this one's good. I hope I find a way to charge it now. We're getting back. Are you guys ready?
Now,
Yes. We're ready.
which new bed is this?
It's coming. It's a new bed. Everything is changing.
Are you serious?
Alrighty, welcome back. Smooth 98.1 still is what you're listening to. This is Business Hub, and Rodas is still here live with us. We've got a very special guest. We're having conversations that center around the International Women's Day, and we would love for you to be a part of our conversation. So, once again, please reach out to us on 0809 444 to be a part of our talk this evening.
Yes, indeed. So Jennifer Wanakwere, CEO, founder, Solace Luxury Homes, talking about real estate and basically giving tips on what to do to get into the business, talking about what it's like to be a woman in the industry, talking about what it's like to be a woman in general doing business in Nigeria. So yeah, Jennifer, I've covered a lot, but again, with the guests I bring on here, I try to make sure their message ties into the existing things I've talked about in the past. I've always talked about skills, 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 and building up your skills. You design your own flyers, right? So can you talk about the importance of developing those type of skills for whatever business you're in, extra skills, or the importance of just getting extra skills? Can you speak to that?
Okay. For the growth of your business, you actually have to have extra skills, especially like your branding, marketing, and networking skills. I mean, it's okay to delegate like stuff to your employees, and but sometimes you have to know what to do.
Right.
Like you have to know
It's-
what to do in cases where people can disappoint you.
Right.
People, so you have to have skills that would help you if people and can't won't be able to do what you want them to do. So yes, sometimes I could have an idea. Maybe the shower. My best ideas come in the shower in the
Okay.
gym. So I could have an idea where I have to post it or share it. So what I do is that because I've learned graphics and some other very important skills, I just roughly, do a rough sketch and just put it out there before I call my graphic designer to say, oh, you know what, let's make this perfect. But I've already put it out there, my thoughts and everything. So people see it and appreciate it. And people appreciate like colorful, I don't know how to put it,
Right, right.
like if I was talking to you and I say, oh, okay, I'm having an interview live, I just write it, you won't be interested in reading all that.
Right.
But if it's like if you've done it in a very exciting way, it would catch people's attention. So that's like social media 101.
Exactly.
Thanks
It
for
is.
the tip.
It is. It is. It is.
Yeah.
All right. So finally, what about? I mean, we're still early in the year. It's only March. But how do you see, I guess, the real estate markets playing out this year?
The COVID-19 setback. First of all, let's start with that one
Yeah, of
because that
course.
was
It
serious.
set every industry back.
Yeah, that it really set us back because obviously you want to buy a house, you have to view the house you're buying, right?
Right.
So COVID-19 came and clients couldn't, with the whole,
Social distancing
yeah.
and all that stuff.
So in 2020, we've seen a recovery and
2022.
20 sorry.
Yeah,
So
2022.
2022 we've seen like a recovery in that part, and then technology has taken center stage in real estate.
So like virtual viewings. And
Yes,
stuff like that?
virtual viewings. Like sometimes I have clients that are outside Nigeria that want to buy a house. Now, they can't come to Nigeria, but they have to buy it. So because they trust my company, I could send them pictures and say, okay, I think this would be nice. Check it out. So social media helps in the fact that they could view what they want to buy and also trust. It's not just about view. So they trust us and you can purchase from that. And also, people from social media, people know that buying properties is an asset.
Right.
Now everybody knows that, oh, property is an asset, though, for your kids, for return on investment and everything. So technology has really helped. There's been an influx of young buyers through technology, young family owners and stuff, and yeah. And also, I would like to commend the effort of the Lagos State government through the special advisor to the governor on housing, Mrs. Toke Benson,
A
our
woman, eh?
local.
Of course.
Yes,
On
yeah.
brand. On
I had
brand
to
to
pitch
shout
it.
out to shout out to a woman in government that's doing
I had
well.
to I
Yeah.
had to put it there,
Yeah.
for putting appropriate measures to curb fraudulent practices in the real estate sector.
Mm.
Because before, everybody was a real estate was the agent. Do you get what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
It was like, so she put in place steps to curb this practice.
Mm.
So yeah, now we can differentiate the professionals with the chaffs in the industry. So yeah, so basically 2022, well, it's been a good year for real estate, and it will continue to be, you know.
Okay. Well, it has to be
All right.
ended on an optimistic note, yeah, because you're a player in the sector, so you would say that. Well, yeah, you actually did. I think I can't remember what the numbers were for Q3 GDP, but I think it was positive. I think it was like 2-3% or so. So real estate is making a recovery. Jennifer, oh yeah, share what's your social media for people who want to.
At Solace Luxury Homes. Solace Luxury Homes. SOLACE Luxury Homes.
Great stuff. Thank
Yes,
you so much for
please.
joining us.
Thank you.
Happy International Women's Day.
Thank
and,
you so
hope
much.
the real estate sector continues to thrive.
It will.
It will.
I like the way she's so positive.
Indeed, right?
Do you have time for a question or comments on WhatsApp?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, this says, good evening, Rotus and co-host. I'm Gilbert Musa from Festac. Apart from reading and research, which is good, I highly recommend apprenticeships and, more importantly, a career coach, one who is paid to guide an individual to succeed in a given field or path.
Gilbert Musa always comes up with some good
Yeah,
stuff.
solid
Yeah,
points
I
all the
agree.
time.
I think Jennifer mentioned that when she was talking about Okonjo Iweala and the mentors.
Yeah.
We need mentors
More
in
of
the
that.
field.
We
Yeah,
need more
very
of
good
that.
stuff. Great stuff. Jennifer, thank you so much.
You're
Quickly, because since we're still talking small business, there was an update earlier today with Biden saying that the U.S. Well, he hasn't said it yet. I think, or maybe he has already given his speech, but the U.S. is going to halt imports of oil, gas, LNG, and coal from Russia, right? And that's already sent oil prices skyrocketing. I'll see if they're not high enough already. I think oil is at 132 per barrel right now.
Yes.
So if you look at what this means for fuel prices, diesel is a derivative of crude. That's also possibly going to be going up. Diesel has hit 530 already, right? So if you are a
It's possible it might get to 1,000.
well, I don't know if it
Let's
gets that
hope
far,
not.
but let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
So anyway, for small businesses, you have to look at what this means for your energy costs. I know there's subsidies in place, but the NNPC didn't remit any money to the Federation account in January. So it's a possibility that might continue, right, in this follow-up month of February, which is going to constrain how much money is disbursed in FAC allocations. And also civil servants there may be delays in salaries and so on and so forth. But the higher the subsidy bill gets for the NNPC, the more strain there is going to be on the fiscal structure of the nation. So this geopolitical wahala that is going on, this is the latest. Even the UK, I think they made an announcement, but they didn't say they will outright ban imports from Russia. They said they would phase it out, which means that they'll keep buying, but they'll reduce how much they're buying over time. So
Which I think is a smart thing to do.
yeah, well, look, if the U.S. is more direct, is not direct about wanting to punish Russia for invading Ukraine. So that's something that we have to see how things develop. But for now, for small businesses, you guys watch out. I think I'll delve more on this on personal finance tomorrow, at least for individuals, because this is something that's getting everybody's attention as far as the markets are concerned. I think I talked about it was on Business Express this morning. Pure water. Oh, did you talk? No, did you mention this with Onome?
Yeah, yesterday.
Of earlier yesterday. Yeah. So think about that, right? If you on the marketplace, the vehicles that move pure water, they run by diesel, right?
True.
And I think I may have already mentioned this. The National Association of Road Transport Operators have already complained that prices of diesel are so high that them being able to move their trucks from one location to the next is an issue. So now that was when oil was at, I don't know, 85 or 90. At over 100, that is now going to cause more problems for each and every one of these folks. So if you're a small business owner and you use a diesel generator, I'm sorry, I'm just my heart goes out to you right now, right? Because the cost implications on your margins and your profits are going to be, it's like a boa constrictor is around you and squeezing. So it's going to be really, really tough. So the thing is, although look, I will commend in the United States, their own fuel prices are at record high levels, right? So, and Biden was like, hey, look, you know what? The precedent of setting is that the lives in Ukraine are more important than, I mean, he has midterm elections coming up, which his party is probably going to lose really badly, because when you hit Americans' pockets, they will hit you back and
One way
punish
or the other.
punish you at the polls. So him setting a precedent and saying, well, look, you know what, the lives in the Ukraine, they are more important than fuel prices. We're doing what we're doing, but there is a ripple effect. Also, wheat. Russia and Ukraine are both in the top 10 as far as wheat exports are concerned. There is talk that possibly bread prices, pastries, confectionaries, and every derivative of wheat is probably going to start climbing over time. So everyone just hey, if you're in the bakery
Brace
business,
yourselves.
Right, exactly.
yeah, you gotta brace yourselves and everything, and hope that things. I don't know when this thing is going to moderates over time. But that's the latest news today as far as the US making the decision to stop importing oil from Russia, who is the third largest exporter. So just brace yourselves if you're a small business. Just take it easy, and we're here to give you the best advice that we can.
All right.
On Business Hub, that's what we do.
That's what we do.
All right.
Thank you so much, Rhoda. It's always a pleasure having
Thank
you
you,
here.
Kaidi. Thank you, Zibi. And yeah, happy International Women's Day one more time.
All right.
Thank you.
Lagos, there's more to come. Don't forget, you can be a part of our conversation across all platforms as the show progresses. This is Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life.
All right.
Right, lovely meeting you, Jenny.